Biker Trash here. It's been like half a month since I made anything or said hello to anybody. Hi. So anyway, this is the Burning Gundam, or the God Gundam, really. It is pretty neat. It's the only one I've got from G-Gundam, you know, Master Grade at least. I do want to get the Shining Gundam, but very neat figure. A lot of his appeal to me is his backpack, or Corlander actually, but even without the Corlander, is still a fairly neat looking Gundam, just a lot more plain. But it's borderline bizarre looking. I mean, it's nothing compared to a bunch of the backpacks from Seed, but it stands out on the shelf pretty well, I find. Right now, it's in its hyper mode, I think they call it. Or is that the gold? Well, whatever it is, it's in its powered up, not regular mode. And anyway, let's zoom in a little bit closer and get a little bit more detail on this guy. Very neat looking head on it. I like the double V fin. Let's see, now I've got this pulled in. Hang on a second. Sorry, the chest was collapsed. That's the way it's supposed to look, not all sucked in like I had it. What goes into the super mode is basically the calves open up and there's some thrusters up in here. I'm going to go ahead and shut that because the legs look really spindly with them open. I like the way they look better shut. Very big ankle guards on this one. They don't look that big on video for some reason, but they're huge in hand. To put it back in its regular mode, these things right here, just going to take and put the claws down, and this is going to kind of pick up and swing back around, back onto the forearm. Last thing to do is just to put his wings down, and that is his regular mode. And still, you know, I like this one a lot, which is the reason I got this one first from the line. Stand this guy up straight for a size comparison. For the Transformer people out there, this is him next to Suctimus. And for the Gundam-y people, this is it next to, excuse me, next to the Exia Avalanche. And it's a good head shorter than the Avalanche. This guy comes with, most of his accessories are hands. They've got the closed fists right there. Let's get into my goodie bag right here. These little, like a palm strike hand. This one, a backhand palm, I don't know. Let's see here. There's some more. They've got two swords, holding hands, and some clear hands for, I think he throws fireballs from his chest or something or other. Some foolishness. I don't know what happened to it, but I don't have either of the swords for this guy. They're missing in action. The sword, the beam sabers, clip onto his hip right here. And what I was actually planning on doing this is this right here will rotate. You can put it whatever angle. I had planned on taking and painting the beam sabers silver and kind of filing them down to make them look a little bit more, and have them be just like solid beams, solid swords. Excuse me. Plan on doing that. And while I've got it zoomed in on the chest right here, this right here opens up, and there is a little bitty teeny tiny crystal in there that I'm sure, I think that's where the fireballs come from that he throws. I just find the like that hands to be bizarre. I don't like them much because, well, I just don't like them. I mean, they're weird to pose with. They've got one good looking pose that you can do, and it's like that right there. But I just, to me, it's kind of like that right there. And call me lowbrow, whatever, I just don't like these hands. What I usually just do is then they have the live long and prosper hands. Take that off. I really would like to get the Master Gundam to go with this, because the Master Gundam actually comes with a pair of clear hands where this one is going this way and the Master Gundam's coming in from the other way, and they actually lock hands, and it looks pretty neat. I think I'd like to have that on display. But moving on. These is kind of neat because this was the 4 from G-Gundam were the first Master Grade Gundams to have full internal frames. You can take and strip all the armor off, and you still have a robot. It's not a very good looking robot. In fact, let me just pull this apart just to show you. Pull all this off, and this right here is what most of the inner frame looks like. It's just a structure to hold it together. It's like a stick figure. There's no real detail almost anywhere on the inner frame of this thing. There is a little bit in the elbows and the knees, but that's it. But still, it makes for a very posable figure, especially for when it was made. I mean, this was pretty much wow at the time, just looking at what had come before it, and even to a degree what came after it from some other lines. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. There are some pistons up in this in the thighs, but anyway. Oh, the bottoms of the feet are actually rubber, the same material that they made the hands out of, so you can get it pretty ranged out, and the feet don't slip. I just realized that you can't hardly see what I'm doing here. I mean, unless I pump the table, it is a very, come on, don't make a liar. It's a pretty stable figure. A lot of the weight is down low on it, especially whenever you have the wings down. But if you want to get into something with a full frame and you don't want anything too intimidating, this is a very easy to build kit. There's not a lot of detailing work that goes into it. I mean, there's a little bit of panel lining in the legs, a little bit in the head, and besides that, there's almost no detail that needs to be added to this to look good. Quite a few stickers, but they're not too hard to put on. I've got it right now in a full, those big ankle guards that I mentioned earlier get in the way. That's the only thing that's kind of giving me trouble right now. But this is the only Gundam that I own that I can get into a full kneel. The toe is touching, the knee is touching, and the foot is touching, and the body's not all cocked off at a weird angle. I mean, it is just there, and really, I'm sure some of the new ones like the RX-78-2 version 2 and all that, I'm sure they probably come to this level of articulation, but I find this very neat, especially for the age of the kit. It sounds like I'm making excuses for the age of the kit, but I'm not. I do like it a lot. Oh, there's another piston behind the knee. I forgot that one too. Anyway, it's a smallish kit. It's not that expensive. Highly, highly recommended. So I'm not sure. Oh, one last thing. I mentioned earlier that the chest is pushed out. What you do is you push it in, and that lets him the arms across the chest in very closely. I mean, oops. Unless the fan falls off, like it just did, this hand on the right arm is darn near touching the left shoulder. You know what? And then the shoulder comes forward. There's quite a bit of articulation right there. So he can come very across himself. That's, I don't know, it's, the articulation on this thing pretty much won't let you down. So, you'll have a good day.